One. Yeah.
One.
Oh, you think they position?
Yeah.
I. Like six. Yeah, there's six. And then just, is there bond violation?
It's got two.
Oh, I'll see you make myself forward for that.
Yeah.
Okay. You can hear me in the jail? Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Kasim Marai, file number 24-00807FY. Yes, please.
Taylor Wicks, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Marai for purposes of arraignment. He has made application with the Public Defender's Office.
Remove your hood, please.
Pat, you're good.
Okay.
Okay, today's the date Mr. Marai set for an arraignment. I have a felony complaint here.
Sorry.
It alleges that I have a felony complaint here that alleges that on or about April 1st, 2023 through February 11th, 2024 at the area of 913 Cleveland Street, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly commit the acts in count 1.
I don't get that, ma'am. I just want to speak Arabic.
You speak Arabic?
Yeah, I request to translator.
Okay, Ms. Wicks, did you meet with him with a translator?
No, I did not. I have the information Mr. Goodrich provided to me yesterday. But I do not believe Mr. Goodrich spoke to him with a translator either. I believe Mr. Marai speaks enough English, but has a hard time grasping legal concepts, was my understanding.
Yeah, but I request that from yesterday.
No one mentioned that. Okay. Okay, we'll call him later. I'll move on.
Oh,
On
you
the
want
record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Eric Conwell, file number 23-03044FY, counsel appearance.
Taylor Wicks, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Conwell for purposes of arraignment. He has made application with the Public Defender's Office.
Okay, Mr. Conwell, today's the date and the time that's set for an arraignment. I have a felony complaint here. It alleges that on or about February 27th, 2023, at the area of 217 South 8th Street, Apartment 2, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly commit the act in count 1 of torture. The allegations are that you did with the intent to cause cruel and extreme physical or mental pain and suffering, inflict great bodily injury or severe mental pain or suffering upon a Maria Barrera, a person within his custody or physical control, and that the maximum, and that this was contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.84. This is a felony. The maximum penalty is life or any term of years and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. There's a count 2 of domestic violence. It alleges that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon a Maria Barrera, an individual with whom you had a dating relationship contrary to MCL 750.812. Restitution may be ordered as this offense may have resulted in damage to another individual's property or physical injury or death to another individual. Count 2 is a misdemeanor with a maximum penalty, 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. There is, however, an habitual offender third offense notice. It says, take notice that the defendant was twice previously convicted of a felony or an attempt to commit a felony, and that on or about March 25th, 2015, he was convicted of the offense of assault with the intent to rob while armed in violation of MCL 750.89 in the 30th Circuit Court for Ingham County, State of Michigan. And that on or about March 19, 2021, he was convicted of the offense of carrying a handgun with prior felonies in violation of 35-42-21A in the 31st Circuit Court for Lake County, State of Indiana. Therefore, defendant is subject to the penalties provided by MCL 769.11. That would enhance your penalty to twice the maximum sentence on the primary offense or a lesser term. The maximum penalty cannot be less than the maximum term for the first conviction. Do you understand the charges read in the maximum penalty and the habitual offender third offense notice?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have the right to be represented by counsel. You're represented today by Ms. Wicks from the Office of the Public Defender. You have the right to have an attorney represent you at each stage of the criminal prosecution. You have the right to be represented by counsel if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can make a request to have the Public Defender's Office represent you at the expense of the public. Do you understand your right to counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty. You can plead not guilty or you can stand mute. If you stand mute, this matter will continue all the way through to a jury trial. You're being charged with a felony in this matter, and so you have the right to have a preliminary examination within 21 days of today's date, unless you waive that timeline of 21 days or the court finds good cause to go beyond 21 days. At the time of your examination, you have the right to require the prosecutor meet their burden of establishing that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed, and then probable cause sufficient to charge you with the crime. You're currently scheduled for a probable cause conference before Judge Cynthia Ward, March 28, 2024 at 9 o'clock in the morning. You may appear in person or via Zoom for your probable cause conference. You have a preliminary examination before Judge Ward in person at the court, April 5th, 2024 at 9 o'clock in the morning. Did you get your notice to appear, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right in this matter to proceed to a jury trial, and you have the right to the presumption of innocence, meaning you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to require the prosecutor prove your guilt at a jury trial. They would need to prove each charge or each element of each of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt at your trial. You have the right to see, hear, or question in court any of the witnesses that they call against you to testify at your trial. You have the right to subpoena witnesses to trial to testify on your behalf, or you can waive your right to silence because you do have the right to remain silent at your trial and not have silence be used against you. If you waive your right at trial, you can testify, understanding that the prosecutor would have the right to cross-examine you. You also have the right to present evidence at your trial that you believe show a defense to the charge being brought against you. Do you have any questions about your rights?
No.
Okay. Are you currently on probation or on parole?
No.
Do you have other criminal matters pending?
I have a hold in Indiana.
A hold in Indiana for what?
Because I was on parole.
As far as I know is that my parole and probation in Indiana was supposed to roll together. I ended my parole August of 2023. So, and I didn't hear nothing from Indiana.
You have a parole hold in Indiana?
Oh, I have a probation hold in Indiana.
Okay, my first question was, were you on probation or on parole? So then the answer would be yes, you are on probation in Indiana?
As far as I know, I'm assuming, yeah, because I got a warrant for it, but up to my knowledge now, I thought I was off of it when I got off parole out here. So.
Okay, let's see. What's your home address?
430 North Larch Street.
You said 230 North Larch Street?
No, ma'am, 430.
Okay, you're staying at the shelter?
Yes.
How long have you been staying there?
Let's see. Since like February of 2023. I want to stay over there. I'm gonna try to see now.
What's your phone number?
517-488-6992.
Okay, counsel, you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Conwell made representations to me that other than that conviction in Indiana, that most of his criminal history was relatively dated, that he possibly did have one or two failures to appear, but never on purpose. It was something he wouldn't have had notice for. He does have family here in the area, has lived in the Lansing area for approximately a third of his life, and is employed here in the area, and is not currently on probation, parole, or bond. While serious, there are bond conditions that can protect the complaining witness in this file. I would be respectfully requesting a personal or cognizance bond with a GPS tether or a 10% bond for Mr. Conwell. Thank you.
Thank you. Is he requesting court-appointed counsel?
He is.
Okay, the court will note that he's requesting court-appointed counsel and enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf. I do have a bond recommendation from the Ingham County Prosecutor's Office. Let's see, per MCLA 765.6, they have indicated some factors that would raise a concern about the protection to the public. They have indicated that the defendant is on parole in another state, that his parole status has not been discharged, that this is a matter that has been charged with violence towards another person, that the defendant has a history of violent behavior directed towards the alleged victim, and that there's a history of threatening or harassing behavior toward a victim and or witnesses, and that this was an alleged individual with whom the defendant had an intimate relationship with. Other factors to be considered is escalation of violence or risk-taking over time. It states here that the defendant has a history of assaulting the victim, and that in this particular incident, he allegedly assaulted and tortured her for over 6 hours, including putting a lit cigarette out on her skin while holding her down. Again, it mentions the defendant is on parole for a violent crime. The people are requesting $150,000 cash surety bond with GPS tether, victim notification, and exclusion zone. I have reviewed the defendant's prior criminal history here in the state of Michigan, which is not that dated, but nonetheless, it is assaultive in nature. I don't have much information about what is going on in the state of Indiana other than what is listed on the charging documents and the bond recommendation, and that is that the defendant is currently on a parole, and the defendant is aware of a parole hold, at least at this point, which would indicate that he has not been discharged from parole in Indiana, and that he is on parole for a felony carrying a handgun with prior felonies, I believe is the matter that he may be on parole for out of Indiana. That is not what's clear to the court. The bond recommendation indicates he's actually on hold for a parole for a violent crime. So if that's the case, that information has not been provided to the court. Nonetheless, based on the allegations, the parole hold in another state, the court does have concern not just for the public safety and the victim, but a concern about whether or not he will return to court on his own recognizance. There is indication of him possibly having 2 or more failure to appear in court in the past. With that being said, the court will adopt the bond recommendation of the prosecutor's office. Bond is set in the amount at $150,000 cash surety with GPS tether and victim notification if possible. In an exclusion zone. Let's see, Mr. Conwell, you're not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever the alleged victim is. Do you understand that?
You talk about Maria?
That would be the alleged victim, yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen Maria since like
I'm not asking
February
you,
last
I
year.
didn't ask you when you saw her last. What I'm telling you now is that you're not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever she is. This is a future condition, not past condition, okay?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so you cannot, excuse me, be within 1,500 feet of wherever she is while out on bond. In addition to the GPS tether requirement, you're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to use any alcohol or drugs or possess those things unless you have a valid prescription. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release. Do you have any questions for the court?
Yes, ma'am. It had to be some form of evidence because I never put my hands on
Not
Maria,
about-
and I left a long
No.
time ago.
Mr. Conwell. Nothing
they
about the
make-
case.
Oh, well, anything else? Like, I don't even have a history of violence. The crime I caught out here and I did my time for it, and I got caught with a gun. That's the only 2 felonies I caught. The torture and the domestic violence, I wasn't even near Maria, so I ain't even worried about this
Mr.
one
Conwell.
sticking. And I didn't know about Indiana, and it's probation. I'm not on parole. I'm on parole in Michigan.
My question was, did you have a question? I didn't ask you about all this ranting statements that you have.
Like,
You're all
I'm
set.
not ranting.
Thank you.
I'm not
He's free to go.
ranting, but
He's free to
y'all
go.
ain't.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Okay, wait.
Keep that.
Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan. Versus Amber Morris, file number 23-02542, counsel apparent.
Taylor Wicks, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Ms. Morris, who has made application with the Public Defender's Office.
Hi,
Oh, hi, you're Amber Morris.
it's me.
Okay, the court's gonna note that there was a request for court-appointed counsel. Ms. Morris, today is the date as set for a matter, actually, it's City of Lansing versus Amber Morris. And I have here a citation for trespassing a red tag property The allegations are that you did trespass at a property located at 216 East Kavanaugh at or near Donald Street. That's in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan, on or about August 10th, 2023 at 9:28 p.m. And so you have the right in that matter to have a trial, and you have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to be represented by counsel at that trial. You have the right to require the city put forth evidence to establish the trespass in a red tag property by proving each element of that charge beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent at that trial and not have that silence be used against you. You have the right to question or cross-examine any of the witnesses that they call to testify at your trial. You can remain silent at your trial and not have silence be used against you, or you can waive your right to silence and testify, understanding that that would subject you to possible cross-examination by the prosecution. And you also have the right to be considered for pretrial release from custody. Do you have any questions about those rights?
No.
Court will enter a plea of not guilty at this time. You are currently scheduled for a pre-trial conference before me, Judge Kristen Simmons. It's going to be Monday, April 1st at 1:15 p.m. Okay?
Okay.
Did you get a copy of your notice to appear for that?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Okay, very good. What's your current home address?
The same address, 216 East Kavanaugh, Lansing,
Is
Michigan,
it-
4910.
Is that property still red tagged?
No, ma'am, I fixed it up and made it not red tagged.
What's your phone number, ma'am?
517-402-1894.
They did not give me a criminal history on this. Don't know why, but yeah, I don't have a criminal history, but this is a city trespass at a red tag property that she clearly owns, so you can address bond.
Thank you. Ms. Morris did make representations to me that she does have some prior criminal histories, but she does have family here in the area, has lived in the area her entire life, is employed here in the area, and is a sole caretaker to her 3 young children. Your Honor, because this is a non-serious, non-violent misdemeanor, I would be respectfully requesting a personal recognizance bond for Ms. Morris. Thank you.
Bond will be set in the amount of $500 personal recognizance. While out on bond, you need to make sure that you appear for all of your future court dates. You're not to leave the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
I don't, thank you.
Any additional matters for the record?
No, thank you.
You're all set, ma'am. Okay, that's for, you're here for Orlano?
Yes.
Okay, on the record, in the matters of the people of the city of Lansing versus Rudy Orlano, file numbers 24-00197, 24-00239, and 24-00301. Appearance, counsel.
Taylor Weeks, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Oriano, who is a current client of the Public Defender's Office.
How are you, Mr. Orlano?
Hi.
And I have an interpreter. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the test that you were interpreting the matter now before the court completely and accurately and not divulge confidential communication? So help you God.
I do.
Okay, can you state your first and last name?
Carlos Hernandez.
Thank you. I'll make pauses so that you can interpret in between my statements.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Orlano, you have 3 trespassing files.
Entonces, don Orlando, usted tiene tres cargas de entrar sin derecho.
You were arraigned on each of those files already.
Ya te hicieron su acusación por cada carga de esos entrar sin derecho.
And you were supposed to be before Judge Flores
Supuestamente usted tenía que estar con el juez Flores
on each of those files,
en cada cargo
and you failed to appear
y no llegó a ninguno.
on February 6th
El 6 de febrero,
and February 13th
el 13 de febrero
and February 20th.
y el 20 de febrero.
Did you forget about court?
¿Se te olvidó de corte?
Estaba en el hospital.
Ajá.
Ah,
Okay, when were you discharged from the hospital?
¿Cuándo salió del hospital?
hace como 2 días, 3 días atrás.
2 or 3 days before.
Before what?
Before today.
Before today, okay. Okay, and the file number ending in 197,
En el caso acabando en 197,
which is for a trespass on the property at High Street
ese es para la carga de entrar sin derecho en la calle High
and Lake Lansing
y Lake Lansing
on January 25th.
el 25 de enero.
That matter is set for a hearing
Usted tiene una apariencia con el corte
before Judge Flores
con juez Flores
on April 9th
el 9 de abril
at 10:30.
a las 10:30 de la mañana.
Bien.
File number ending in 239,
En el caso 239,
and that's for a trespass
por la misma cargas de entrar sin derecho
from January 26, 2024
del 26 de enero 2024
at West Kalamazoo
en West Kalamazoo,
and near Holton Street.
cerca de Holt.
That matter will be set for pretrial.
Ese caso va a estar puesto para un juicio previo
April 9th
el 9 de abril
at 10:30 before Judge Flores.
a las 10:30 de la mañana con juez Flores.
Está bien.
File number ending in 301.
En el caso acabando en 301,
That's for a trespass
igual por la misma carga de entrar sin derecho
at or near 1215 East Michigan Ave
cerca de 1215 East Michigan Avenue.
near Pennsylvania
Cerca de Pennsylvania
on February 5th.
el 5 de febrero.
That will be reset
Esto lo van a poner para otro día,
for pretrial,
igual para juicio previo
April 9th
el 9 de abril
for Judge Flores.
con juez Flores.
Está bien.
Were you arrested on the on the February 5th matter?
En el caso del 5 de febrero te arrestó la policía.
No. Sí.
¿Sí te arrestaron?
No.
No te llevó la policía.
No.
Okay, no, he was not arrested.
Okay, because that was one day before you were supposed to be in court on one of these files.
Porque ese era un día antes que tenía que estar aquí con el juez en uno de sus cargos.
Sí, pero estaba siempre en el hospital.
says he was, during that time, he was still in the hospital.
I believe this address might be the hospital. You can interpret that.
El correo que dio era del hospital.
Sí,
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, yeah, this address, 1215 East Michigan, is Sparrow Hospital.
El 1215, ahí mismo es el hospital de Sparrow.
sí.
But so if you were trespassed from Sparrow, where did you go after that?
Entonces, si te sacaron del hospital, ¿dónde fue después de eso?
Después de eso, ¿cómo?
¿De dónde fue cuando te sacaron del hospital? ¿Dónde fue después de eso?
What hospital were you just released from?
¿De qué hospital te acabas de ir?
Del que está acá cerca de downtown.
The one that's close nearby here downtown.
That's Sparrow Hospital.
Ese es el hospital de Sparrow, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Correct.
Counsel, you can address bond.
Ahorita vamos a hablar de su fianza.
Thank you. As these are non-violent, non-serious misdemeanors,
Como estas son cargas que no son violentas ni muy serios,
and Mr. Oriano is claiming a valid reason for not having appeared,
y como usted tiene una razón válida de por qué no llegó a corte,
I would be respectfully requesting one last chance at a personal recognizance bond.
van a pedir una última vez con respeto que te den una fianza sin pago para salir.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Mr. Oriano, where's your address?
Don Oriano, ¿dónde está viviendo ahorita?
en el Holy Cross.
Holy Cross.
You have a phone?
¿Tiene teléfono?
Oh,
How are you gonna keep up with your court date?
¿Cómo va usted venir a corte?
¿Cómo dice?
¿Cómo es que usted planea llegar a corte?
Pues no podía.
O sea, ¿cómo usted planea, si sale hoy, cómo planea regresar a corte?
Pues el día que me la citen.
Says he just plans on being here on whatever day he's told to be here.
Okay, what day are you supposed to be here next, sir?
¿Qué día tienes que regresar?
¿Qué día?
Sí.
El día que, pues, el día que, no importa qué día.
It says it does not matter what day he will be here on whatever day he's told.
Right, I just asked you what's the next day, because I've already told you what it was. I want to see if you were paying attention.
¿Quiere ver el juez que estabas poniendo atención? ¿Quieres saber si te recuerdas qué día te acaba de decir que tienes que regresar?
Sí, el 9.
¿El 9 de abril? ¿O de
Sí.
cuándo? April 9.
Me dijo que tenía que venir el 9, pero el 9.
Perdón, diga otra vez.
Sí,
He's asking to make sure that he heard you right. April 9th is the next day of his court date.
Correct, for all three files.
Sí, correcto. Eso va a ser para los 3 casos.
Do you have a
Okay.
notice to appear?
¿Tiene una noticia para apelar?
no,
No, he's not.
Did he not receive one in the jail yet?
He has a man, they're in front of him.
Do you have paperwork in front of you, Mr. Orlando?
¿Tiene papeles enfrente de usted?
Sí,
Yes.
Okay. Bond is set in file number 301 at $50 cash surety.
Entonces esto ya se cumplió por el caso 301, te ponieron de $50 una fianza.
Bond is set in file number 239, $50 cash surety.
En la siguiente 239, igual $50 de fianza.
está bien.
So that's fine.
And bond is set in file number ending in 197, $50 cash surety.
Igual en el caso acabando en 197, $50 de fianza.
All your previous bond conditions, including not engaging in any assaultive or threatening behavior and no use of drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription and reporting to court will continue.
Las mismas reglas del pasado siguen. No puede estar consumiendo alcohol ni drogas sin una orden del doctor, quebrar ninguna ley y tiene que aparecer a todos sus días de corte.
Do you have any
Bien.
questions for the court?
¿Tiene cualquier pregunta?
No.
You're all set, sir. Thank you.
Está listo, gracias.
Okay.
Thank you. On the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Joseph Lee C, file number 23-03690 FY, counsel appearance.
Taylor Wicks, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. C, who has made application with the Public Defender's Office.
Give me just a moment. I'm trying to understand how it was that he posted a bond, but he was not arraigned.
Understood.
I was in St. John's under other charges, and I bonded out for all of my warrants as well as the charge. And my paperwork that I bonded out for this charge, they never faxed over my bond papers from St. John's. And by them not doing that, I didn't have a court date. So I called for my court date on my bond paper, and they told me that I still had an active warrant for this charge after I already bonded out and had that court date set. And when they reset the court date, they sent the court date to an address that I haven't lived at in 15 years, which is Walnut Street. I think like 1019 Walnut. So that's why I missed my last court date just now, and they reissued the warrant again after I had already bonded out, and they said that
Where
I
do you
still
live
had
now?
actual.
Where do you live now?
1228 East Malcolm X Street.
Okay, so I have your signature here on the bond sheet, from where you appeared with the bondsman to post bond here. You must have then went to another facility to post your bond there. You would have been given your notice, at that time. I see a date stamp on here as well. Also, the address that you put on this paperwork that has your signature is where we sent the notice to appear, which was 1217 East Malcolm.
Okay, I haven't stayed there in a minute either. I got the address that I have is for 1228. But it also does show it on there that
That's the address that you provided the court when you bonded, is the 1217.
yes, that was my last address.
That's the address you provided us. That's where we send the notice. So we
I
didn't
did
just
not-
send it to a random address.
That was, yeah, they went off of my last address that I lived at.
No, that's not what we went off. I'm looking at your bond form with your signature on it. It's a wet signature. You signed this on February
I did.
19th. And that address on there, you could have corrected, but you did not.
I called down and I corrected them when I seen it on there. And then I asked them what was going on that bond when I called them, and they said that I had no court
That
date
was
for
after
that
you,
day.
that was after you would have missed your court date, I'm sure, because you should have corrected it before you signed it, because that's the address that your notice would have went to, and you signed that, your bondsman signed it as well.
Yes.
And so
Yes,
that,
and I
on
called
that
down
same
there on
date.
that bond. I called
Excuse me?
down here. I called down here
When?
on that bond, on that court date,
When?
and they said I still had an active warrant for that charge, for the charge that I'm here on today. They said I still
You
had an
called
active
down
warrant
where?
for this charge.
You called
Down here.
down to the court on the date that you were supposed to appear?
Yes, ma'am, on my bond paper.
So why did you not appear?
They told me that I had no court date to show up to down here, that bond was never faxed over from St. John's, that I still had an active warrant in the system.
I don't know what you're talking about. If you knew to call here on the date and you knew you had a warrant, then you should have turned yourself in. I'm confused.
No, and then afterwards, that's why I called the bondsman and I told the bondsman, and then he had told me that I would end up having to come down here to turn myself in unless St. John's faxed over my paperwork for the bond, because they did not have that bond information. So I had to wait for it or keep calling down here every day to see when they faxed it over. And I had a new court date set because it still showed an active warrant.
Your bond paperwork has been in our file since February. It's date stamped February 23rd. So we've always had this paperwork in our file.
February 23rd was the day of the court date.
No, you're on February 23rd, your matter was set for March 8th. That's the date of your court date.
Okay, what does the bond paper say that my court date was?
The bond form doesn't give you a court date on it. We mailed a notice on February 23rd, which is what the note says, that a notice was mailed to you to appear. Okay, first of all.
On my bond paper, it says it on the right-hand side.
First of all, I sat there and listened to you ramble, even though I don't really like your tone, but you're not gonna cut me off when I'm trying to talk to you back, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
The bond paperwork that you signed does not have a court date on it. That's the paperwork that the court received that you signed attached with your bond receipt. And we date stamped that received on February 23rd at 2:07 p.m. On that same date, the manager herself for the clerk's department put a note in that she sent a courtesy mailing for you to appear for arraignment on March 8th at 9 o'clock in the morning. So, and she sent it to the address. You made a statement when you first started speaking that the address was sent to an old address. Well, this is the address that you provided the court on February 23rd. And that on February 23rd, it was sent to that notice. So any failures in communication are attributed to you and not to the court or to the bondsman, because you signed this paperwork. Nonetheless, I have here a felony complaint here that you need to be arraigned on. It alleges that on or about July 12, 2023 at East Grand River and Chester Street, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did commit the act in count 1 of controlled substance, possession of methamphetamine ecstasy, and that you did knowingly or intentionally possess methamphetamine, contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 333.74032BI. That's a felony, maximum penalty 10 years and or $15,000 in fines. There's a count 2 of controlled substance, possession of cocaine, heroin, or other narcotic. It alleges, or other narcotic less than 25 grams, alleging that you did knowingly or intentionally possess less than 25 grams of a mixture containing the controlled substance cocaine, contrary to MCL 333.74032A5. That's a felony, maximum penalty 4 years and or $25,000. Do you understand the charges and the maximum penalty in each?
Yes, I do.
You have the right to be represented by an attorney. Ms. Wicks is representing you today for the purposes of your arraignment only. You have the right to have an attorney represent you at each stage of the criminal prosecution and to be representing you if you're going to be questioned by law enforcement. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can make an application to have the public defender's office represent you at the expense of the public. You have the right to have a preliminary examination within 21 days of today's date, because today's the date that you're being arraigned. At the time of your preliminary examination, you have the right to require the prosecution put forth evidence to establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with the crime. You're currently scheduled for a probable cause conference before Judge Tony Flores, March 28th at 9 o'clock in the morning. You have a preliminary examination before Judge Flores in person at the court, April 4th at 9 o'clock in the morning. At those dates, will proceed at that time unless you waive that timeline of 21 days or the court finds good cause to go beyond the timeline of 21 days. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. You have the right to continue to a jury trial. At the time of your trial, you have the right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to question or cross-examine any other witnesses that the prosecutor calls against you at your jury trial. You have the right to remain silent or waive your right to remain silent at trial and testify on your own behalf, but understand that you will be subjecting yourself to being cross-examined if you waive that right at trial. You have the right to present evidence at trial that you believe show a defense to the charge being brought against you, or subpoena witnesses to testify on your own behalf at your trial. You have the right to require the prosecutor prove each element of each of the charges being brought against you at your trial beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you have any questions about those rights? What's his home address?
1228 East Malcolm X Street.
Are you currently employed?
No, I'm not.
What's your phone number?
517-894-9081.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
No, ma'am.
Do you have other matters pending?
My case in St. John's that I bonded out for. I also have a ticket in East Lansing.
What is the matter in St. John's?
Felon in possession of a firearm. In which I've had court dates and I've made every single one of those.
They didn't give us a bond. Counsel, you can address bond.
Mr. Say made representations to me that he does have some prior criminal history, that other than this case, any failures to appear would have been dated when he was much younger. He does have family here in the area and is a lifelong resident here of the Lansing community. And as he's already made representations to the court, he is on bond. While serious, these are non-violent felony matters, and I would be respectfully requesting a personal recognizance bond for Mr. C. Thank you.
Oh, Mr. C posted a bond before and didn't even appear, so personal recognizance would not be appropriate. A bond is set in the amount at 5,000, 10%. With the following conditions: you're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon, and you need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release. Do you have any questions for the court?
No, ma'am.
You're all set. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Matthew Christie, file number 24-00809, counsel appearance.
Taylor Witch, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Christie. He has made application with the Public Defender's Office.
Okay, Mr. Christie, today's the date set for an arraignment on a felony complaint that alleges that on or about March 20th, 2024 at the area of 101 North Washington Ave, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you allegedly committed the act of count 1 of breaking and entering a building with intent. The allegations are that you did break and enter a financial institution or store located at 101 North Washington Square with the intent to commit the crime of larceny therein, contrary to MCL 750.110. Count 1 is a felony and the maximum penalty is 10 years in prison. Do you understand the charge and the maximum penalty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you have the right to be represented by an attorney. You're represented today for the purposes of your arraignment only. You have the right to have an attorney represent you at each stage and each appearance under this prosecution, and you have the right to be represented by counsel if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can make a request to have the Public Defender's Office represent you at the expense of the public. The court will note that you're requesting court-appointed counsel and will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. If you stand mute, this matter will continue to a jury trial. You have the right in this matter to a preliminary examination because you're being charged in count 1 with a felony. You have the right to have the preliminary examination within 21 days of today's date unless you waive the timeline, or in this case, unless the court finds good cause to go beyond the 21-day timeline. You have the right to require the prosecutor put forth evidence that would establish probable cause sufficient that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with those crimes. You are currently scheduled for a probable cause conference before me, Judge Kristen Simmons, Thursday, March 28th at 2 p.m. You have a preliminary examination before me in person at the court Friday, April 5th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Did you get a notice to appear for those dates?
I did.
Okay. You have the right to proceed to jury trial. You have the right to the presumption of innocence, so you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to require the prosecutor to prove each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt at your trial. You have the right to remain silent and not have that silence be used against you at that trial, or you can waive your silence and testify on your own behalf, or you can call witnesses to testify for you at the trial, or you can present evidence that you believe show a defense to the charge being brought against you. But you have the right to require the prosecutor to prove each element of the charge of breaking and entering with intent beyond a reasonable doubt at your trial. Are you currently on probation or on parole?
I am on probation.
Is that before me?
That was from February. It was ran out and still has not been handled yet, I don't believe.
Doesn't matter. He's on probation before me.
July. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Because it's probation, and then you just sentence them.
Did you go to treatment?
I did. I was
Oh.
1,000
Okay, so then
times
you're,
after.
okay, so you are before, you're supposed to be on probation before me.
That is correct. From back in February, and then I got released on September 15th. 1,000 times after that.
Okay, but you've not been in touch with probation since you've been released, according to this bond information that I have. Okay,
I have a phone and the address I had.
excuse me?
I have not had a phone, so I haven't been able to get a hold of Brianna Houghton, but I have been aware, and was gonna go talk for.
Well, the allegations are that you were around the corner yesterday, so I think you know how to get in touch with Miss Otten because she's in this building.
I was not aware she was in this building. I thought she was over at the Veterans Memorial Courthouse. Now that
Okay,
I'm aware of that,
you should
I
have,
know her.
you should have been aware because you appeared here before me and I sentenced you, I remanded you to court,
Correct. I was
revoked the
back in-
special status. I remanded you to jail, and I allowed you to go to treatment, and I converted the balance to probation upon the completion of that treatment. And Ms. Otten has not heard from you, and you did not just get out of treatment yesterday.
No, I did not. You are correct on that. That was back in September.
Thank you. That's all I asked. That's all I asked. Thank you. Okay, let's see. What's your home address?
3629 Delta River Drive, 48906.
What's your phone number?
231-564-0978.
Okay, I need that file that he's supposed to be on probation on. File number that is.
Oh, 3000612.
Counsel, you can address bond.
Thank you. Mr. Christie made representations to me that he does have some prior criminal history, that he did not have any prior failures to appear. If released, he would be released to live with family and has lived in the Lansing area for the past 2 years. And as the court is already aware, he is on probation. As this is a serious felony matter, however, it does not allege any violence. So I would be respectfully requesting a personal recognizance bond for Mr. Christie. Thank you.
Okay, I just indicated that he was on another file before me, and he was remanded and sentenced to 365 days jail. That was back in July. It's not July yet, so we know we don't have 365 days. I also ordered at that time that he could be released only to treatment, but that upon successful completion or discharge from treatment, that he was to continue the remaining term of the 365 days on probation. He's not been in any contact with his probation officer. So he's in
That is my
violation
fault.
of that. He's in violation of that order. So he is going to be remanded on file number 23-00612 to address the court on that. As it relates to this bond, he does not appear in court or follow court orders like he's supposed to. And that's indicated in the bond pre-screening pretrial report from pretrial services. So for that reason, personal recognizance will not be appropriate. Bond in this matter will be set in the amount of 2,510%. While out on bond on this file, you're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You'll report to pretrial services within 48 hours. And you're not to be at the address of 101 North Washington Ave. Do you have any questions about your bond on this file? Okay, you'll be remanded on file number 23-00612, and we'll address that at the time that's appropriate. Thank you.
Yeah.
Your Honor, just for my paperwork, should I submit an application for a probation violation for Mr. Christie in that other file? As it is suppressed, I can't see the online ROA.
Yes, that should you submit an application to represent him for that, you mean?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Edith Blamo, file number 24-00817.
Your Honor, I haven't had a chance to go grab the second group of people.
Okay, is the only person that you have in there the person that needs an Arabic interpreter?
For Michael Kelly in here.
Okay, I'll do Michael Kelly. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Michael Kelly. I have multiple files. File number 24-00801FY. I have 24-00451SM, 24-00452, 453, 454, 455, 456, and then 24-00747FY, counsel appearances.
Taylor Wicks, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Kelly, who is a current client of the office, but is also applied on the new files.
Step forward, please. You're Michael Kelly?
True.
Okay, Mr. Kelly, taking file number ending in 808 first. It's a felony. The maximum penalty being 10 years in prison, alleges that on or about March 19, 2024 at 216 South Washington Ave, Washington Square, Unit B, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you allegedly committed the act in count 1 of breaking and entering a building with intent It alleges that you did break and enter a store located at 216 South Washington Square with the intent to commit the crime of larceny therein, contrary to MCL 750.110. It's an habitual offender fourth offense notice attached to this. It says, take notice that the defendant was previously convicted of 3 or more felonies or attempts to commit felonies, and that on or about July 24th, 2018, he was convicted of the offense of breaking and entering a building with the intent in violation of MCL 750.110 in the Fourth Circuit Court for Jackson County, State of Michigan. And that on or about March 6, 2019, he was convicted of the offense of breaking and entering a building with intent in violation of MCL 750.110 in the 30th Circuit Court, Ingham County, State of Michigan. And that on or about December 11, 2020, he was convicted of the offense of breaking and entering a building with intent in violation of MCL 750.110 in the Fourth Circuit Court for Jackson County, State of Michigan. And therefore, the defendant is subject to the penalties under MCL 769.12. That enhances the maximum penalty for count 1 to life if the primary offense has a penalty of 5 years or more. Again, that was count 1 had a offense of maximum penalty 10 years, so that would enhance your maximum penalty to life if convicted. Do you understand the charge and the maximum penalty in that count?
So,
Okay. File number ending in 451.
Your Honor, I do believe all of the misdemeanor finals are retail fraud second degrees. If you did just want to read them once and say that the charges were identical in each, I would have no problem with that.
Thank you. File number ending in 451. I have a misdemeanor complaint. It alleges that on or about December 22nd, 2023 at 21 West Holmes Road, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly in count 1 commit the act of retail fraud second degree. It alleges that you did while Quality Dairy was open to the public, still property of the store that was offered for sale at a price less than $200. Second or subsequent offense notice alleging that further appearing that on July 30th, 2015, defendant was previously convicted of violating retail fraud third degree under MCL 750.356D4 in the 12th District Court for Jackson County. File number ending in 452, again alleges a retail fraud second at Quality Dairy on or about December 25th, 2023 at the area of 2400 East Michigan Ave, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan. File number ending in 453. Alleges a retail fraud second degree on or about December 20th, 2023 at a Quality Dairy located at 917 East Kavanaugh Road, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan. File number ending in 454. Alleges a retail fraud second degree at the Meyer located at 6200 South Pennsylvania, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan on or about December 13th, 2023. File number ending in 455. Alleges, excuse me, a retail fraud second degree on or about December 23rd, 2023 at the area of 2400 East Michigan Ave, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, also known as Quality Dairy. File number ending in 456. Alleges retail fraud, second degree, on or about December 23rd, 2023, at the area of 5100 South Waverly Road, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, also known as a Quality Dairy. Each of those files of retail fraud are misdemeanors, maximum penalty 1 year and or $2,000 or 3 times the value difference in price or property stolen, obtained, or attempted to be obtained, whichever is greater. The court may order reimbursement to the state or local government for expenses incurred in relation to the incident, including but not limited to expenses for emergency response and prosecution. Do you understand the charges read in each retail fraud count? And then file number ending in 747. It looks like you were arraigned on this. Let me see. No, you were not. In custody bond violation.
Your Honor, he was
He
arraigned
was
on that. Yes, but
Okay,
Judge
he
Ward
was,
last Thursday.
he was not arraigned on the bond violation.
Correct.
Okay, you have a breaking and entering and building in this matter and a retail fraud, and there is a bond violation, or I should say bond violations. So let's see here. I'm sure they are relative to the new charges that the court just read. So yeah, bond violation relative to alleged incident from 319 at 216 Washington Square. And so in that matter, you would have the right to have a contested hearing on the bond violation, understanding that your bond could be revoked and you can be sentenced to a contempt of court if found in violation of your pretrial release. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and he's scheduled to be before Judge Ward on that matter this week. I'm sorry, Judge Buchanan, this week. Let's see.
I believe
Is he
Friday.
pleading not guilty to the bond?
Yes,
Is he pleading not guilty to the bond violation?
he is.
Okay, we'll set this for a hearing on the bond violation the same date as the exam, which is going to be March 28th at 1:45 before Judge Buchanan. Okay, and the new felony matter of breaking and entering that I read to you, you have the right to a preliminary examination within 21 days of today's date. You have the right to require the prosecution put forth evidence to establish sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with that crime. You have a probable cause conference before Judge Buchanan, March 28th at 9:30 in the morning, and a preliminary examination before Judge Buchanan, April 4th at 8:30 in the morning. Did you get your notice to appear for that
Yes.
file? The retail frauds all have a pretrial date scheduled before Judge Buchanan on each file, April 1st at 9:30 in the morning on each file. Did you receive your notice to appear for those?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of these files, you have the right to proceed to a jury trial. You have the right to require the prosecution prove each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You can remain silent at your trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. So until the prosecution prove each element of each of the charges in each of the files being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt, you are innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to cross-examine or question any other witnesses the prosecution intends to call at your trial to testify against you. You have the right to call witnesses to testify on your own behalf, or you can waive your silence and testify for yourself at trial. And you also have the right to present evidence at trial that you think show a defense to the charges being brought against you. Do you have any questions about those rights?
No.
Okay, he's requesting court-appointed counsel on each file and pleading not guilty. Ms. Wicks?
That is correct.
Okay, you can address bond.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly made representations to me that he did have some prior criminal history, but none of it was assaultive in nature, that he had no prior failures to appear, that he did live in the Lansing area for approximately half his life. As the court is aware, he is on bond. I do understand that the court rules because he was on bond for a felony and is alleged to have committed a felony, he cannot be given a personal recognizance bond. I would be asking for a 10% bond of some sort. Thank you.
If he told you that he's never missed court before, he would not have been telling the truth. The records reflect here in the Ingham County Circuit Court Pretrial Services Report that records reflect that he has more than 2 qualifying failure to appears, and those to be counted as risk factors. It also states that when he was released from the Ingham County Jail back on March 14, 2024 on a bond of 2,010%, he was supposed to report to pretrial services. Within 48 hours of his release, he's failed to do that. That's indicated by you. He's out on bond while for a felony bond, that is. And here we are with litany of new charges. So neither a personal recognizance or 10% bond will be granted. He will get a cash surety bond on the felony file ending in 808. Bond is set in the amount of $12,000 cash surety with GPS tether. File number 24-00747, which is the matter that he already was arraigned on but failed to report to pretrial services. He'll be remanded for his next court date to see the judge that's presiding over his case. Each retail fraud will have a bond set $1,010%. While out on bond, you have the following conditions. You're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You're not to be within 100 feet of any quality dairy. You're not to enter the address of 6200 South Pennsylvania. You need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release from custody. I also have a handicap a parking citation for Mr. Kelly, T01500645 and an improper lane ticket 23L282781. On the handicap parking, you owe $160. Improper lane, you owe $186. When are you gonna pay those?
I don't even know what those are.
What's your middle name?
Donovan,
According to the citation, it says that you were cited for parking in a handicap parking spot on December 21st, 2023. The improper lane citation that you owe $186 on alleges that you received a citation for improper lane usage, to which you got a default judgment on, and that the date of the offense was December 9th, 2023, 4:22 in the morning.
is that here at Lansing? Cause I received the improper lane usage in
That's
Walker. Okay,
No,
yeah, I
these
never
are
received any
Lansing.
citations.
These are in Lansing.
I never received any citations for handicap or improper lane, never.
Okay, well, you have default judgments on these, so when are you gonna pay them?
As soon as I can.
Are you employed, sir?
No, not this time. Or yes, yeah, I am, but it's more self-employed,
Self-employed doing what?
restoration jobs.
I'm gonna note here that you're gonna pay each of these citations within 30 days of your release from custody, or you will report to collections upon release to make an alternative payment plan. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Let me see here. Did I miss this file? Wrong violation. What is this for?
Can I ask one question, Your Honor?
Just a moment. He has another file, 24-0149. Did I miss something? Oh, okay. You have a file pending in 56A District Court.
Sure, I guess.
Okay, well, I guess you do as well. That's what this says, bond violation 56A. I'm not really. Yep, you'll be remanded to see the 56A District Court. I'm not gonna arrange you on their bond violation.
What is that?
Eaton County.
Good.
I think that has resolved each of his matters. Did I miss one?
I don't believe so. I think you got everything, Judge.
Thank you. You're all set for today, sir.
So.
Okay. You all need time to get the other individuals?
Ma'am, no, we have heard Ms. Blamo, Mr. Hernandez, and Mr. Emilio in this room now.
I need Mr. Christie's other file. They don't know where it is.
No, I've been everywhere.
Should be in probation.
They said they never received it. So they don't know where it's
She's
located.
in- On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Timoteo Almaguer Jr. Sir, state your name, please.
Timoteo Almaguer Jr.
Thank you. I have here a citation that indicates that you allegedly on or about October 18, 2022 at 8:37 in the morning in the area upon South Cedar and Holmes did operate a motor vehicle, but failed to display a valid license. It looks
Yes.
like that at the time you were already, or you were also cited for disobeying a traffic sign, running a red light. That matter would have been defaulted by now. I'm not sure how much money he owes on that if he does have a default. Nonetheless, as it relates to the failure to display a valid license, you do have the right to be represented by counsel. Oh, I have it here, actually. It looks like you owe $186 on the disobeyed traffic sign is what it says. You have the right to be represented by counsel on the failure to display a valid ops, and you have the right to have a trial. You have the right to jury trial, and you have the right to require the city prove each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent at that trial and not have silence be used against you, or you can waive your silence and testify at your trial. You can also call witnesses to testify on your behalf and present evidence at trial that you believe show a defense to the charge being brought against you. You have the right to require the city prove each element of the charge of failure to display valid license beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you have any questions about those rights?
No, I'm not.
Okay, failure to display a valid license is a misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 90 days in jail and or $500 in fines. What's your current address?
506 Jason's Court, Lansing, Michigan, 489 1010.
Phone number?
517-512-2173.
Okay, whose file is this?
Yes, it is a Judge Flores file.
Okay, you are currently scheduled for a pre-trial conference before Judge Flores on April 9th at 10:30 in the morning. You got your notice to appear?
Yes, I did.
Okay, counsel, you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Amagayar made representations to me that he does have some prior criminal history. He does have family here in the area, is a lifelong resident of the Lansing community, is employed here in the area, and is not currently on probation, parole, or bond. As this is a non-serious, non-violent traffic offense, I would be respectfully requesting a personal recognizance bond for Mr. Amagayar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. When are you gonna pay the 186?
Roughly within about 2 weeks to a month, I should be able to have the money around to pay it.
Are you employed?
Yes.
Where are you employed?
I'm kind of like self-employed. I do like side jobs. I'm working with a buddy of mine's right now, painting.
Bond is set in the amount of $300 personal recognizance. You need to make sure you report to court on April 9th before Judge Flores. You can't appear via Zoom. You should have received Zoom instructions, okay?
Okay.
You're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. I noted here that you'll make a payment in full on the past due amount of $186 within 30 days. Do you have any questions for the court?
So I got PR'd. I don't need a post bond or nothing.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Edith Blamo, file number 24-00817. Appearance, please, counsel.
Taylor Wicks, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Ms. Blamo for purposes of arraignment. She has made application with the Public Defender's Office.
Okay, Ms. Blamo, I do have a felony complaint in this file that alleges that on or about March 30th, 2024 at 1016 North Capitol Ave, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you allegedly committed the act in count 1 of home invasion, first degree. The allegations are that you did break and enter or did enter without permission a dwelling located at 1016 North Capitol Avenue, Apartment 1 in the City of Lansing. And while entering, present in, or exiting, did commit an assault. And while entering, present in, or exiting the dwelling, an Abdul Canoe was lawfully present therein. And this was contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.110A2. Count 1 is a felony with a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison and or $5,000 in fines, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed for any other conviction arising out of the same transaction. Count 2 is domestic violence aggravated, alleging that you did assault an Abdul Canoe, an individual with whom you had a dating relationship without a weapon, and did inflict serious or aggravated injury upon him, but without intending to commit murder or to inflict great bodily harm less than murder, contrary to MCL 750.81A2. Count 2 is a misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 1 year and or $1,000 in fines, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Do you understand the charge and the maximum penalty?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will note that you're requesting court-appointed counsel and enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf.
Can you repeat that, please?
The court's going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. And note that you have made your application for court-appointed counsel.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have the right in this matter to be represented by counsel, and you would have already put in your application, but I am going to advise you that if you can't afford to hire an attorney, one can be appointed through the public defender's office at no expense to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. But if you stand mute, the matter will continue all the way through to a jury trial. You are being charged in count 1 with a felony. So that means you have the right to a preliminary examination. You have the right to that examination within 21 days of today's date. You have the right to require the prosecution put forth evidence at that examination to establish probable cause sufficient that a crime was committed and sufficient probable cause to charge you with that crime. You're currently scheduled to have a probable cause conference before Judge Cynthia Ward, March 28, 2024, 9 o'clock in the morning. You can appear via Zoom or in person for the probable cause conference. Your preliminary examination, however, is in person at the court Friday, April 5th at 9 a.m. That timeline of 21 days will proceed for your exam unless you waive it or the court finds good cause to go beyond the 21 days. Do you have any questions so far?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You have the right to presumption of innocence, so that means you're innocent until proven guilty, and you have the right to require the prosecution prove your guilt at trial by proving each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent at that trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to see, hear, or question in court any of your accusers or any witnesses called to testify against you. You have the right to present evidence or testimony at trial that you believe show a defense to the charges being brought against you. You can remain silent and not have silence be used against you at the trial, or you can waive your right to silence and testify at your own trial on your own behalf, understanding that you will be subject to prosecution cross-examination if you do so. Again, you have the right to require them to prove each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you have any questions about those rights?
No, ma'am.
Okay, are you currently on probation or on parole?
No, ma'am.
What's your home address?
421 North Waverly, Lansing, Michigan, 48917.
Phone number?
517-328-0915.
Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
At Amazon?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other matters pending?
Can you repeat that, please?
Do you have any other court cases right now?
No, ma'am.
Counsel, you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Blamo made representations to me that she did not have any prior criminal history. She does not have any prior failures to appear. She does have family here in the area and has lived in the Lansing area most of her life. And as she has already made representations, she is not currently on probation, parole, or bond to any court. While very serious with proper bond conditions, the complaining witness could be protected, but she does have an address separate and distinct from that of the complaining witness, and I would be respectfully requesting a personal recognizance or a 10% bond for Ms. Blamo. Thank you.
Bond is set in the amount of 10,000 personal recognizance. While out on bond, you're not to have contact directly or indirectly with an Abdul Canoe. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to have anybody make any communication to Mr. Canoe on your behalf. You're not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever Mr. Canoe is. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You cannot travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You cannot use alcohol and or drugs without a valid prescription, and you need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Any additional matters for the record?
No, thank you.
Okay, you're all set.
Your Honor, if you would like, you're going to do the gentleman that needs a translator immediately after the last guy. I can bring him up right now and have him into your court so we can jump right into that.
Let's see, we have Hernandez, is that the other person?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we would need to then, you can do that because then we can see if we can connect with the language line.
Okay, we will be up with him shortly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, on the record in the matters of the people of the state of Michigan versus Octavius Hernandez, file number 24-00816, 24-00180. Counsel appearance.
Taylor Wicks, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Hernandez, who has made application with the Public Defender's Office.
Mr. Hernandez? Are you
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez? No one told you you need to remove your hat when you're in the building?
Oh, no, sorry.
Thank you. Okay, I have a misdemeanor complaint ended in file number 816 for a assault aggravated. It alleges that on or about March 20th, 2024 at the area of 1016 North Capitol Ave, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan. That you did allegedly, contrary to law, commit the act in count 1 of aggravated assault. The allegations are that you did make an assault without being armed with a weapon upon an Abdul canoe and did inflict a serious or aggravated injury upon said person, but without intending to commit the crime of murder or to inflict great bodily harm less than the crime of murder. Count 1 is a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 1 year and or $1,000 in fines, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Let's see. You understand the charge of the maximum penalty?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I did hear you. I was just trying to understand what was going on in your other file, but it looks like it's a bond violation. This matter would constitute a bond violation on file number 24-00180, which you are currently out on bond before Judge Cynthia Ward. And one of your bond conditions would include that you are not to commit any crime while released. I'm sure also that you're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior was also a bond condition. And so as to the bond violation, you have the right to a contested hearing on that violation. You have the right to be represented by your attorney at that hearing. Your bond can be revoked pending a determination, or it can be revoked pending the underlying matter being disposed of if you're found to be in violation of your bond conditions. But a bond violation, sir, is a contempt of court order. So that means the maximum penalty on the contempt of court is 93 days in jail and or up to $7,500 in fines. Do you understand?
Yes.
Pleading not guilty to the violation.
He is.
Court will enter a plea of not guilty as to the violation. On the misdemeanor, he requested a court-appointed counsel, correct? Okay, I would imagine that one of either he or the last person I arraigned is going to need conflict counsel.
I have already made notation for either Mr. Watson or Mr. Cornish.
Cynthia Ward has one. Did Buchanan have the other one? Or they both were assigned to Ward? Oh, assigned to Ward. Both were assigned to Ward. Okay, I'll note here. A request for court-appointed counsel and a plea of not guilty. Is your address still the address on Ballard?
Yes, 1124 Ballard Street.
What's your phone number?
It's 517-492-7132.
You have a pretrial conference on this matter before Judge Cynthia Ward, April 2nd, 10:30 in the morning, okay? Did you get your notice to appear for that date?
Yes, I'll definitely appear, ma'am.
Okay. Let's see. Other than the matter that you have pending, are you on probation or on parole?
I think it's either one or the other.
Have you been to prison before?
Oh, ma'am, I have no history.
Okay, so then you would be on probation maybe?
Yeah, I think I am on probation. Yeah, I haven't served no time, ma'am.
What court are you on probation for?
It's just a misdemeanor, like attempted fleeing and eluding.
Your Honor, I think
Okay, it
it's
doesn't
the,
look like you have not been sentenced yet on
Yeah,
that
no,
file.
ma'am.
Okay, so you're not on probation then, correct?
I mean, I guess yes and no. I mean, I'm kind of confused with it myself. I mean, I
Okay,
guess until
so
that court.
let me explain, I'll explain it to you. You have another file pending, which I said, other than that file, were you on probation? So that's the first question I asked you. But you have a sentencing scheduled on that matter before Judge Ward, April 19th at 8:30.
Yes.
You have not been sentenced. She's not placed you on probation. We don't know what she's gonna sentence you to, okay?
Okay.
Other than that matter of attempted police officer 4th degree fleeing, do you have any other matters pending?
Nope, not at all.
Other than that matter, are you on probation before any courts?
No.
Okay, thank you. And where are you employed?
I am employed with IGT. That's a stock lottery tickets, and then I work another job. So I work 2 jobs. So the other job is a janitorial job. So we just clean buildings up throughout the city.
Okay. Counsel, you can address bonds.
thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Hernandez did make representations to me that he does have prior criminal convictions, but nothing similar in nature, that he has never failed to appear in court, that he does have family here in the area and is a lifelong resident of the Lansing community and is employed with 2 jobs here in the area. And he's already made representation. He is on bond for the fleeing and eluding case. While serious, with proper bond conditions, the complaining witness can be protected. I would be respectfully requesting a personal recognizance bond for Mr. Hernandez so he can continue working. Thank you.
Bond is set in the amount of 1,000 personal recognizance with a no contact order. You're not to have contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim in here, Abdul Kanu. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. And the question, ma'am?
Well, let me first go over your bond conditions because you might have more questions after I finish all these conditions. You're not to be
Okay.
within 1,500 feet of wherever Abdul Kanu is. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to use, purchase, or possess drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. What's your question?
Oh, my question, when you said 1,000 personal, I forgot what was the word you said, what did that mean, like $1,000?
Personal-
That's what that?
No, personal recognizance, meaning we're releasing you under the belief that you will return to court like you're
Mhm.
supposed to. I don't see
Okay.
where you've missed court before. On your other file, you made it to all of your court dates. You're currently scheduled for sentencing. I would imagine that Judge Ward told you to meet with probation so that you can get a pre-sentence report. Is that correct?
Yes.
That might be why you were confused about whether or not you were on probation, but that's just so she can know how, or she can get a recommendation as to how you should be sentenced. Hopefully you did take care of that when you left court, you went and met with probation. Did you do that?
Yes, I forget the man's name, the probation officer
Okay.
name. I think his name is Joe or something.
That sounds about right. Joe Sumter, maybe?
Think so. I got his card. It's just in my wall and it's at my house. My brother has.
Hopefully you completed all of that so that you won't have any violation of that condition of your release before Judge Ward. Right now, the only issue you have on that file would be the picking up of this new file That's noted here. As to that bond violation, I will continue your bond, which was previously set at 2,000 personal recognizance, and that matter will be set for a hearing on the bond violation the same day as your sentencing. Which is April 19, 2024 at 8:30, okay?
Good.
Do you have any questions?
Oh, ma'am.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, thank you.
Thank you. I had to put all these notes in this file. Give me just. Ms. McDuffie?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which matter are you here for?
Sorry. I'm actually not here as an attorney. I'm here to observe for a family member.
You're here to observe for a family member? Oh, you would have to do that via Zoom or YouTube then.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you had a YouTube page. I will do that.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, you're all set with us in the arraignment room down here, correct?
Yeah, yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I think I finished this one. I don't know if you did the pre-trial release orders involved, but each location of these retail pods need no contact order.
So for us,
I'm sorry?
the retail part one.
Yeah. They'll be right at the bottom where it says do not enter that area. That's where you put it. Let me see. My language line. Arabic?
Yes.
Welcome.
Please hold for an interpreter.
When they answer, do you want him up?
Hello, thank you for calling Language Line Solutions. This is ID number 427-825. Your Arabic interpreter. How can I help you?
Hi, you can hear that from here. I have someone here that needs to be arraigned in Arabic.
Okay, let me help you with this. Can you hear me, you think?
Okay, can you state your name for our record, because we are on the record?
My name is Jaya, Delta Echo Yankee Alpha.
Okay. Can you repeat your first and last name again?
First name is Jaya, Delta Echo Yankee Alpha, last name Pargali. Foxtrot Alpha Romeo, Golf Alpha Lima, India.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will interpret in the matter before the court completely and accurately and not divulge confidential communications, so help you God?
I swear, however, I'm not sure if I'm qualified for this sort of call. Give me a minute. Let me talk to my supervisor. Let me see if I'm actually qualified to take this.
Thank
Give me a
you.
minute, please. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Let's see.
No, thank you for waiting. I'm actually going to transfer this to a qualified person for it. It should not take but a minute. Give me a second.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Going to connect you with a legal Arabic interpreter. Please hold.
Thank you.
Please hold for an interpreter.
I'm just confused because obviously we have a ID number. They should have known we needed a legal interpreter. Hello?
I've never seen before where they had to switch out.
Me neither.
Thanks for calling Language Line Solutions. My name is Azad and ID number 223948. How can I help you?
Hi, we're waiting to be transferred to a legal Arabic interpreter.
I'm the interpreter.
Okay, and you're qualified to interpret a legal matter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you spell your name again?
A is an apple, Z as in zebra, A is an apple, D as in David.
Thank you. Raise your right hand for me, sir. Do you solemnly
Okay.
swear or affirm that you will interpret in the matter before the court completely and accurately and not divulge confidential communication to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Okay, you can stand, Mr. Marai. Okay, and can you ask,
سيد مراي ممكن تقف؟
can you hear us clearly, Mr. Marai?
هل تسمعنا بشكل واضح؟
You need to speak loud enough so he can hear you. The interpreter has to hear your
هل
response.
تسمعنا بشكل
Did you hear his response, sir?
No, ma'am. I couldn't hear anything. It was silent.
You have to speak so that he can hear your response.
Hello.
And if so, do you want for me to speak the interpreter?
No, yeah, you can interpret that for him, but Mr. Marai is not speaking loudly and I want him to speak loudly.
اوكي بتسمعني؟
أخي ممكن ترفع صوتك شوي بالتكلم؟ ارفع صوتك لو سمحت.
تمام هلا عم تسمعني؟
Yeah, نعم مضبوط. Yes, I mean, now it's good.
Thank you. Okay, and again, for the record, can I have your appearance, counsel?
Taylor Wicks, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Marai.
نعم المتحدثة بالنيابة عندك أيضا حاضرة.
اوكي.
Mr. Marai, I have a felony complaint.
لدي عفوا شكوى تجاه جناية.
It alleges that on or about Did the interpreter hear that?
No, it's alleged says on or about. That's all you I hear.
Yeah, it alleges that on or about April 1st, 2023 through February 11th, 2024.
نعم التوبة الموجهة هي ما بين بتاريخ من أو من ما بين الفترة من 1/4/2023 إلى 11/2/2024.
At 913 Cleveland Street, City of Lansing.
عنوان 913 Cleveland Street, City of Lansing, المدينة.
State of Michigan, Ingham County.
في ولاية ميشيغان المحقق agent.
That you allegedly committed the acts in count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
He committed the act.
That he allegedly committed the acts in count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
اللي انت ارتكبت فيها الفقرة 1 2 3 4 5.
Of criminal sexual conduct first degree.
عفوا التحرش الجنسي من الدرجة الأولى.
Multiple variables.
مختلفة ومتعددة.
It states you did engage in sexual penetration.
Engage in, sorry, what?
Sexual penetration.
أنت نعم واشتركت في عفوا اختراق جنسي.
Penis to anal opening.
نعم العضو الذكري إلى العضو الخلفي.
Is in count 1.
في هذه يخص الرقم 1.
Count 2, penis to genital opening.
الثانية الفقرة الثانية العضو الذكري إلى العضو الأنثوي المفتوح.
Count 3, penis to anal opening.
الثالث العضو الذكري إلى فتحة المخرج نعم.
Count 4, penis to genital
Sorry,
opening.
felony said anal.
Anal, that's correct.
Count 3 anal. نعم الفقرة الثالثة من العضو الذكري إلى الفم.
Count 4, penis to genital opening.
Correct. الفقرة 4 العضو الذكري إلى الأعضاء التناسلية.
And count 5, penis to mouth.
نعم الفقرة 5 عفوا الفقرة 3 كانت العضو الذكري إلى المخرج. الفقرة 5 عضو ذكري إلى الفم.
With an individual, initials OA.
مع أشخاص with individual on A.
The initials of that person's name is OA.
OA مع شخص أول حرفين O و A.
Under the following circumstances,
في الظروف اللاحقة,
during the commission of the felony of felonious assault,
الجناية هذه,
of felonious assault or strangulation,
felonious assault, you said, right?
Correct, felonious assault or strangulation.
نعم يعتبر اعتداء هذا يعتبر اعتداء جنائي.
Or extortion.
أو يعتبر ابتزاز.
Or defendant was armed with a weapon.
Or descendant.
Correct. Or defendant was armed with a weapon.
أو مع استخدام سلاح أو مسلح أو استخدام سلاح.
Or any article used or fashioned in a manner to lead the victim to reasonably believe it was a weapon.
أو أي شيء آخر أو أي جسم آخر يظهر للضحية بأنه هذا السلاح.
Or defendant affected sexual penetration through force or coercion.
Okay, so need for me to repeat that one.
Or defendant affected sexual penetration through coercion or force.
Coercion?
Yes. Force or coercion. They're the same word.
نعم. Yeah, force. نعم. I'm sorry. So the first part of it, you said, or defendants affected.
Yes, sexual penetration.
Okay.
Through force or coercion.
نعم وأيضا المدعي نعم الجاني عفوا يشارك باستخدام طبعا الجاني يؤكد الجاني يعمل الاختراق أو الاعتداء الجنسي باستخدام القوة.
And the victim sustained personal injury.
والضحية تعرض لإصابات شخصية وجسدية.
Counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
الأعداد 1 2 3 4 5.
As a tier 3 offense under the Sex Offender Registration Act.
تعتبر من الدرجة الثالثة من خلال الإجراء التسجيلي الاعتداء الجنسي من الدرجة الثالثة.
Unless the court finds that the victim
إلا إذا المحكمة رأت إنه الضحية
was between the ages of 13 to 15
بين عمر 13 إلى 15
consented to the conduct
I'm sorry, so you said consented to the conduct?
consented to the conduct
وافقت على التصرف إلا إذا كانت وافقت على التصرف
and the defendant was not more than 4 years older than the victim.
والجاني هو ليس أكبر من 4 سنوات من الضحية.
The maximum penalty in counts 1 through 5
العقوبة الأشد من فقرة 1 إلى 5
is a felony life in prison.
جناية عقوبتها الحبس من الحياة المؤبد.
For each count
لكل فقرة.
mandatory lifetime electronic monitoring
مراقبة إلكترونية إجبارية من الحياة.
mandatory AIDS STD testing
فحص إجباري للإيدز والSTB
and DNA to be taken upon arrest
والحمض النووي يؤخذ عند الاعتقال ساعة الاعتقال.
and the court shall may impose consecutive sentencing.
Sorry, the court shall what?
The court may impose consecutive sentencing.
Consecutive sentencing, you said?
The court may, I said the court may impose consecutive sentencing.
Sentencing, right?
Yeah, the sentence, like when we sentence someone to jail.
اوكي نعم فالمحكمة قد تظهر او تعطي اوامر متتالية متتالية نعم او مستمرة.
And that's under Michigan compiled law 750.
قانون ميشيغان اللي هو حبس 7
520
520
B3.
B3, okay, B3.
Yes, okay, let's see here. There's an HIV STD testing notice.
هناك ملاحظة متعلقة بفحص الHIV.
And then count 6 is extortion. Count 6 is extortion.
بالنسبة لي سوري الفقرة رقم 6 هي ابتزاز.
Alleging that you maliciously threaten to injure.
ادعاء انه انت تهددت بالجرح او الايذاء.
The person of Onshanda Alali.
الشخص أوشاندا ألالي.
Or injure the child of Onshanda Alali.
أو جرح الطفل أوشاندا ألالي.
With intent to extort money or pecuniary advantage.
مقابل الابتزاز بأخذ مبلغ مال أو منافع أخرى.
Or to compel the person so threaten to be refrain
or what, sorry?
or to compel the person so threatened to refrain from doing an act against their will.
أو إقناع الشخص تحت التهديد بعمل شيء ضد إرادته.
Count 6 is a felony. Maximum penalty 20 years in prison or $2,000, $10,000 in fines.
Sorry, after 20 years of prison, is it after that or and?
It's or. Let me double check though. Let me see. Yes, 20 years in prison or $10,000 in fine.
نعم وغرامة 6 سنوات غرامة الفقر رقم 6 عقوبتها 20 سنة حبس أو $10,000 غرامة.
Count 7 is assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation.
Sorry, count 7. He said
assault with intent to do great bodily harm.
الفقرة رقم 7 هي اعتداء مع عمل إيذاء جسدي.
Less than murder.
Less than murder.
Less than murder or by strangulation.
نعم أقل من القتل.
It states that you made an assault
الخنق عفوا.
upon Onshanda Alali.
الولاية تقول انه انت عملت الاعتداء على أوشاندا ألالي.
By strangulation or suffocation.
بالخنق أو قطع الهواء.
And that's a felony with the penalty 10 years or $5,000.
وهذه جناية عقوبتها 10 سنوات أو $5,000.
Count 8 is weapons carrying concealed.
الفقرة رقم 8 حماية سلاح مخبأ.
It states you carried a dangerous weapon.
نقول إنه أنت حامل سلاح خطير.
That being a handgun.
أو سلاح يدوي مسدس.
Concealed on or about your person.
مخفي عن sorry I said concealed or what on your person.
Concealed on your, it says concealed on or about your person.
اوكي نعم مخفي من قبلك انت يعني السلاح مخفي هذا.
That's a felony.
هذه جناية.
The penalty is 5 years or $2,500.
عقوبتها 5 سنوات أو $2,000.
And mandatory forfeiture of the weapon.
Mandatory forfeiture
of the weapon, correct.
وإعطاء إجباري للسلاح.
Count 9 is assault with a dangerous weapon.
الفقرة رقم 9 الاعتداء بسلاح خطير.
It states you made an assault upon an Onshanda Alali.
الاعتداء على انشوندا ألالي.
With a dangerous weapon.
سلاح خطير.
A handgun.
سلاح يدوي.
Without intending to commit the crime of murder.
بدون النية على عمل جريمة قتل.
Or to inflict great bodily harm less than the crime of murder.
أو عمل إيذاء جسدي أقل من جريمة القتل.
Counts 10 through 14.
الأعداد من 10 إلى 14 الفقرات 10 إلى 14.
Are all weapons felony firearm?
Sorry, ma'am. Are all weapons, he said?
Weapons felony firearm.
جناية السلاح اللي هو إطلاق أو سلاح ناري.
They state that you did carry.
أقول إنه أنت حملت.
Or have in your possession.
أو كان بحوزتك.
A firearm.
سلاح ناري.
Being a handgun.
عبارة عن مسدس يدوي.
At the time that you committed or attempted to commit.
في وقت الذي إنه عملت فيه أو تنوي العمل.
3 counts of criminal sexual conduct.
رقم 3 فقرة رقم 3 اللي هو الاعتداء الجنسي.
1 count of extortion.
واحد ابتزاز.
And 1 count of felonious assault.
وأيضا مرة واحدة اعتداء على الشخص.
Counts 10 through 14 are felonies.
الفقرة من 10 إلى 14 هي عبارة عن جنايات أو جناية.
The sentence is 2 years consecutively.
سنتين متتالية العقوبة.
And preceding any term of imprisonment.
ويضاف أي تاريخ سجن مسبق.
For the felony or attempted felony conviction.
أو أي أي جنايات أو أي تهم متعلقة.
And there's a mandatory forfeiture of the weapon required.
وأيضا هناك تسليم إجباري مطالب بالسلاح.
Count 15.
الفقرة رقم 15.
Intentional dissemination of sexually explicit visual material.
Okay, 1 second. He said, can you give that to me one by one?
No problem. Intentional dissemination.
Dissemination.
Correct. Do you need me to spell it?
And after that?
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Intentional dissemination of sexually explicit visual material.
نعم. الفقرة هذه تحت مسمى التخريب المتعمد الصريح للجنسي الصريح باستخدام أدوات أو وسائل مرئية. Yes, I'll continue.
It says you did with the intent to threaten.
مع نيتك على التهديد.
Coerce or intimidate.
للتخريب. Sorry, intimidate.
Yes.
نعم. حاولت Sorry, can you just give me the word before intimidate?
Coerce.
Coerce, intimidate.
Coerce or intimidate.
I need for me to spell that word for me. I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, coerce is C-O-E-R-C-E. Why am I getting an echo?
Oh, إكراه. Yeah. بالإكراه. Yes, ma'am. Continue.
Okay, disseminate any sexually explicit visual material.
بالإكراه عمل استخدام وسائل مرئية للتحريم المتعمد للجنس بالصريح.
Anshoda alali.
لأنشر أمامي.
A person who was not less than 18 years of age.
الشخص الذي هو ليس أقل من 18 سنة.
And was identifiable from sexually explicit visual material.
وكان معرف من قبل المواد المرئية المواد المرئية
itself or information displayed in connection with.
Itself, you said?
Yes, itself. Or information displayed in connection with sexually explicit visual material.
نعم هي لغرض العرض من قبل المعلومات المرئية لإظهار الجنس إظهار الجنسي.
It's a misdemeanor.
هي جنحة.
Maximum penalty is 93 days and or $500.
بالنسبة للعقوبة هي 93 يوم أو $500.
Do you have any questions about the charges and the maximum penalty?
عندك أي سؤال استفسار بخصوص العقوبات وأيضا العقوبات القصوى؟
نعم عندي أسئلة كثير بصراحة.
I have multiple questions, lots of questions.
اوكي هلا أنا علي كم قضية بالضبط؟
How many count on me right now?
15.
How many cases does he mention right now?
There's 15 counts.
اوكي كيف أنا عملت هدول ال 15 قضية بأقل من شهر؟
How did I make all these 15 with less than a month?
That's a good question. I couldn't tell you that.
اوكي طيب سؤال هم شلون
بس انا ما اقدر انه اقول لك هذا الشيء.
اوكي هم شلون بيعرفوا انه انا معي السلاح ومخبيه وبنفس الوقت انا طالعه ومهدد فيه؟
How did they know that the weapon on my possess and I was hiding it, and at the same time I reveal it and I.
Okay. Well, just so we're clear, the date and time was between April 1st, 2023 to February 11th, 2024. So that's more than a month.
بالمناسبة بس ركز على التاريخ بالبداية لما قلنا 1 شهر 4 نيسان 2023 الفترة المحصورة ما بين 1 شهر 4 2023 إلى 11 شهر 2 فبراير أو شباط 2024 هذه أكثر من شهر.
Okay.
And you have the right to remain silent because anything you say can be used against you.
لك الحق بالتزام الصمت لأنه أي شيء أنت تقوله قد يستخدم ضدك.
طيب اوكي انا ما فيني هلا ارد على هذا انا بدي محامي اول شيء اوكي.
I don't want to respond on that right now. I need an attorney.
Okay, you do have an attorney here, Miss Wicks, for today.
سؤالي
موجودة اليوم لديك محامي اليوم.
اوكي بس سؤالي هو انا شلون علي كل هاي القضايا بدون اي دليل قاطع؟ أنا معي دلائل على تليفوني تبرئني من هذا كله، وهذا كله كذب وتلفيق علي.
Okay, ma'am. So what? There is no any single evidence on all that what you said. I have on my phone a clear.
Okay. Let me stop you. I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you. The reason why I'm stopping you is because when I swore you in as the interpreter, it was for you not to divulge confidential information. So if he's asking you to translate stuff that could be used against him, I have to stop you, okay?
Okay, ma'am. So I apologize for that.
No problem. He has an attorney for today. He has the right to be represented by an attorney throughout this entire case.
نعم أخي، لديك محامي اليوم، لديك محامي يستطيع أنه يتكلم بالنيابة عنك خلال هذه القضية كلها، أوكي؟
Did he want to hire an attorney or does he want the public defender to represent him?
هل ترغب بتوكيل محامي خاص أو ترغب بالمحامي العام الموجود يكون ينوب عنك؟
فيني أستخدم المحامي العام الآن، بس أنا عندي محامي خاص بعدين.
Can I use a public attorney now? But I do have a private attorney later.
Okay, I'll note that you're requesting court-appointed counsel, but you may hire an attorney later.
للتوضيح انه انت حاليا ترغب باستخدام المحامي الخاص بالمجلس ولا ولكن ستوكل محامي خاص لاحقا.
نعم.
You have the right to plead guilty.
لديك الحق بالاعتراف بالذنب انه تعتبر نفسك مذنب.
You can plead not guilty or you can stand mute.
او تقول انه انا لست مذنب او الطريقه الثالثه انه تلتزم الصمت.
You have the right to have a preliminary examination.
أنا مو مذنب.
لك الحق ايضا بعمل فحص اولي.
يا أخي بس أنا مو مذنب 100% ومتأكد من كلامي وعارف إيش أنا.
I'm not guilty 100% and I know what I'm saying.
Okay, the court will enter a plea of not guilty at this time.
المحكمة ستسجل إنه أنت ذكرت إنه أنت لست مذنب هذه المرة.
نعم.
Okay, you have the right to a preliminary examination within 21 days.
لك الحق بعمل فحص أولي خلال 20 يوم.
You have the right to have the prosecutor bring evidence.
I apologize, ma'am. You said 21 days?
Yes, 21 days for the preliminary examination.
21 يوم. Yeah, so now, the second part you said?
He has the right to have the prosecution bring evidence at the preliminary examination.
وأيضا لك الحق بأنه المدعي العام يجيب الأدلة يعني يجلب الأدلة في الجلسة الأولية.
To show probable cause that a crime was committed.
لكي تظهر السبب الأساسي والرئيسي لارتكاب هذه الجريمة.
And probable cause to charge you with the crime.
وأيضا الأسباب المقنعة لكي يطبقون عليك الأحكام بهذه الجريمة.
You're scheduled for a probable cause conference.
هناك موعد تحضره لعمل الجلسة لإظهار الأسباب المقنعة.
Before Judge Tony Flores.
أمام القاضي توني فلوريس.
March 28th at 9 a.m.
28 شهر 3 الساعة 9 صباحا.
You have a preliminary examination before Judge Flores.
لديك جلسة أولية أمام القاضي فلوريس.
April 4th at 9 a.m.
4 شهر 4 الساعة sorry what time 9 a.m.
Yes.
الساعة 9 صباحا 4 شهر 4 الساعة 9 صباحا.
You have the right to a jury trial.
لك الحق بتأجيل الجلسة المحاكمة أو الجلسة.
You have the right to require the prosecutor prove the charges against you.
Sorry, he has the right to have, sorry, he has the right to what? Second one?
He has a right to have the prosecutor prove the charges being brought against him.
لديك الحق أيضا بالطلب من المدعي العام بجلب الإثباتات أو الأدلة بهذه التهمة التي بحقك. لديك هذا حقك طبعا. Yes, ma'am.
They have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
يجب أن يثبتوها بدون أي شك مقنع.
You have the right to confront in court any of your accusers.
لك الحق بالاعتراض أمام المحكمة عن أي من هذه التهم.
And question them.
وسؤالهم.
You have the right to call your own witnesses to your trial.
لك الحق باستدعاء شهودك الخاصين إلى الجلسة.
You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have it be used against you.
لك الحق بالالتزام الصمت في جلسة المحكمة لكي لا يستخدمها ضدك.
Or you can present evidence or testimony at trial to show a defense.
هو إظهار الأدلة والادعاء يعني قول شهادتك في المحكمة.
Do you have any questions?
عندك أي سؤال؟
لا أخي، بس أنا عندي إنه يعني أنا هلا راح أضل هون لحد ما تجي تاريخ هاي 3/28 مارش 28.
أفضل وين عفوا؟
هنا في السجن.
Oh, so am I gonna stay on the booking, like here in the on the custody all the way until the 28th?
We'll address your bond in a minute.
لحظة راح نشوف إنه كم مبلغ الكفالة.
طيب فينا أنا أحكي معاها للمدعية؟
Can I speak to the, you know, to the
القاضية نفسها.
the victim?
Can you speak to the victim?
No, to you, ma'am.
You want to speak to me?
To you,
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Oh, the prosecutor, yeah.
Well, I'm not the prosecutor, I'm the judge. Do you want to speak to the prosecutor?
No, I want to speak to
أنا
you.
القاضي نفس المدعية.
Okay, what, you have a question?
عندك سؤال؟
عندي سؤال.
أتكلم حاليا.
أنا عندي سؤال. أنا أخذوا مني جوالي، أوكي؟ يلي عليه إثبات براءتي، بس أنا ما بدي يحذفوا عليه منه أي شيء. فيني أطلب هذا من القاضية؟
Can I request from you not to delete anything from my cell phone, the one that they took from me, because on that cell phone
I don't.
my,
Okay, I don't have your cell phone.
I know, ma'am.
They won't. If the police took your cell phone, I can guarantee you they don't want to delete anything on there.
Okay.
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 الشرطة هم أنا لما أخذ الشرطة هم اللي يأخذوا، وأنا يعني أؤكد لك إنه لن يمسح أي شيء عليه.
Ma'am, I just want to say, okay, I'm still 24 years old, okay? I'm work 12 hours per day, okay? I swear, ma'am, I don't have time to do all 15, ma'am. 15, do you believe that? 15? How
It's not about what my beliefs are. I'm not here for that. I'm here to tell you about the charges, to arraign you on them and make sure you understand them, and then to address your bond. I'm not going to decide if you did this or not, because you have a right to a jury, and the jury can decide that, not me.
Yeah, ma'am, but I just want
نعم أخي، شوف أنا لست بصلة إنه أصدقك أو لا أصدقك، هذا ليس عملي. أنا عملي إنه تلوت عليك الأشياء اللي قلتها، وأيضا راح أقول لك إنه كم مبلغ الكفالة. فيما يتعلق في إنه أنت صادق أو لا، هذا من شأن المحلفين. هناك تكون ثلاثة محلفين هم الذين سيناقشون هذا الموضوع.
طيب تمام، شكرا.
Where do you work?
at East Lansing, Mocha and Co. Coffee Shop. Mocha, MOKA and CO.
Coffee shop.
Yeah, Arabic coffee shop.
What's your home address?
302 North Waverly Road, Lansing, Michigan, 48906.
Your phone number.
517-619-8910.
And you have a notice to appear for your next court dates, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
عندك الاشعار للحضور للجلسه القادمه تمام معك الاشعار؟
نعم.
Do you have any other court cases pending?
لديك اي جلسات او قضايا محكمه اخرى معلقه؟
No.
Okay. Are you currently on probation or parole?
هل عليك حاليا حكم اطلاق سراح مشروط او حكم مراقبه؟
لا، ما علي اي شيء.
No. And nothing's on me, no.
Okay. Counsel, you can address bond.
As Mr. Marai made representations, he has no criminal history.
بالنسبة له لا يوجد عليه أي تاريخ جنائي أو إجرامي.
He has never failed to appear.
ولم يفشل ولا مرة بالمثول.
Is a long-term resident of Lansing and employed.
What is
هو أحد المقيمين في لانسينج وموظف.
How long has he lived in Lansing?
Mr. Goodrich put 7+ years.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
I would ask that the court set a bond in this matter.
المحكمة بعمل كفالة أي فيما يخص هذا.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a bond recommendation from Ingham County Prosecutor's Office.
نعم هناك توصيات بخصوص الكفالة من مكتب الادعاء.
It indicates both concerns about protection to the public and flight risk.
وهم لديهم هاجس أو تخوف من خطورة عالية وحماية المجتمع.
The defendant is charged with crimes involving violence towards another person.
وأنه المدعي عليه مشترك في جريمة تتضمن إيذاء شخص آخر.
The defendant allegedly has a history of violent behavior towards the victim.
Sorry, repeat that again.
The defendant has a history of violence towards the victim.
المدعي عليه اللي هو حضرتك لديه أو لديك التاريخ من الاعتداءات على المجني عليه.
The defendant has a history of threatening or harassing the victim or witnesses.
المدعي عليه حضرتك لديه تاريخ من التهديدات على المجني عليها.
There's allegations of threats to kill victim or family.
هناك ادعاءات تهديد يصل إلى القتل للضحية للمدعي المجدي عليها وعائلتها.
Allegations of stalking behavior.
Sorry, allegation what, sorry?
Stalking behavior.
أيضا تصرفات متعلقة بالمراقبة والتنصت.
Allegations of forced or threatened sexual acts.
أيضا ادعاءات حول إجبار على الجنس ممارسة الجنس أو نعم.
It says that the defendant poses a substantial flight risk.
فيعتبر المدعي عليه عفوا حضرتك يشكل خطر كبير.
And has an international passport.
ولديه جواز سفر دولي.
Due to the allegations made in the complaint
بناء على هذه الادعاءات
and the elevated risk of flight.
Maybe said elevated risk of flight.
That's correct.
Okay, وأيضا يعني بناء على الادعاءات المتعلقة بالعنف وأيضا من ناحية أيضا تصاعد احتماليات الطيران.
Bond is denied under Michigan court rule.
الكفالة تم رفضها بناء على محكمة ميشيغان.
6.106.
6.106.
That's correct.
6.106.
And the defendant will be remanded in custody till his next court date.
نعم حضرتك تتظل المدعي سيظل في قاعدة التوقيف إلى غاية جلسة المحكمة القادمة.
There's a no contact order.
هناك أمر أيضا بعدم التواصل أو الاتصال.
You're not to have contact directly or indirectly with Onshoda Alali.
عدم التواصل بصورة مباشرة أو غير مباشرة مع أنشودة ألالي.
Any questions about the bond or the lack thereof and the no contact order?
أي سؤال متعلق فقط حول الكفالة وحول مسألة عدم التواصل مع المجني عليها. أي سؤال؟
أخي بخصوص الكفالة ما فيهم يحطوا لي أي كفالة إني أطلع من هون لمؤقت بس لبين موعد المحكمة الجاي، لأنه أنا والله ماني عامل شيء لهالدرجة وما راح أعمل شيء. وبخصوص التواصل مستحيل أتواصل مع حدا أنا بخصهم.
Any way to put a bond from now all the way until the first session, first hearing, because I will not get in contact with anybody. I will not get to harm anybody.
No. Any other questions?
الإجابة لا. أي سؤال آخر؟
بس لو حتى كفالة أخي والله ما بدي شيء أكثر، أنا راح أنخنق هون. طب حسوا بشعوري أنا إنسان ما عملت شيء يا أخي.
I'm just asking for the bond. I am a human. Honestly I didn't do anything.
والله أنا مخنوق هون إمام.
I recognize that you're a human. I've stated on the record the reasons under the law why the bond was denied.
أنا أعرف أنا أميزك إنه أنت إنسان تمام. وأنا شرحت لك تحت أي بنود تم رفض الكفالة.
طيب مام إنه
Any other questions other than asking me for a bond, because this is not a negotiation.
أخي لا يوجد هناك أي جدال حول الكفالة. عندك أي سؤال آخر؟ ما عندك سؤال الكفالة.
No other questions? We're off the record. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you to the interpreter.
Thanks for honor. Thanks for your service. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Same to you.
Thank you, Judge. I will see you next time.
The prosecutor is not here. The prosecutor is not here.
Down here.
They're not in the building at all. They're over at a Veterans Memorial.
Yeah, because this is.
Okay, you can go over to the prosecutor's office if you want to voice your concerns, or you can talk to the public defender's office, but not to the court. Thank you, Ms. Wicks.
Thank you, Your Honor.